Welcome to Arsenal Football Club, Olivier. How does it feel to finally be here?
Je suis très content.
I'm really happy to be here at this big football club in England.
Je suis fier. I'm proud of becoming a Gunner.
From the outside, it seemed like it took a long time to make this transfer happen. Is it a relief to finally get it done?
Je dirais que je me sens soulagé.
I'm relieved and I'm satisfied to be part of this big club. It was a dream since I've been a kid to be part of the Premier League, and a dream that it could be Arsenal. I hope to do some big things with this team and this club.
You've just come back from the Euros. Does it feel like your head is spinning?
Well, everything takes its own time. After all the media attention, I said I would talk about my future after the Euros, so I could have a clear idea of what I wanted to do. I concentrated on the Euros with France, and I said that I would talk about my future after that. Once it was done, I could announce that I chose Arsenal.
What appealed to you about Arsenal?
It's the philosophy of how they play. It's the way that Arsene Wenger brings the touch to the team. In terms of integration, it's better because there are a few French players here, but it's also the spirit of this mythical club, the Gunners. I've always admired that, and I've admired what they've accomplished. I'm really proud to be part of that, and I hope to be part of the history of the club as well.
What do you know about the club, its history and the stadium?
I know the story that we used to play at Highbury, and that still exists, of course. This club has a very successful history and many supporters, and the club needed Emirates Stadium to allow more people to watch the team.
Do Arsenal command a lot of respect in France?
Yes, Arsenal is a big English team that is well known in France. It sets the example of French players making it in England. There are lots of French players who were a success here, like Henry, like Wiltor, Pires, and many others, of course. So, of course, it makes you want to be a part of that as well.
Did you follow Arsenal last season? What did you think about them?
They had a tough start to the season, and it wasn't easy to get back into it. But they played well, and they came back really hard at the end, and qualified for the Champions League in third place, behind the two Manchester clubs. It wasn't easy, and no titles were won, but we're all working hard, and we'll see what happens next season.
What about Arsene Wenger? How important was he in your thinking?
Of course, the manager is very important. It is important to have his opinion before you sign. And like I've said, he's done extremely well in England and at Arsenal. He's always been about developing players, and I hope he can continue to do that with me here too. I'm happy with my choice, and I think that he brings a lot to the French players that are in the Arsenal team.
Success has come quite late for you in your career. Do you think this has an effect on a player's mentality to move into a big club?
Oui, parce que je suis conscient du parcours
Yes,
que j'ai
because
fait jusqu'à
I'm
maintenant,
conscious of the path I took to
comment
get
tout ce
here.
chemin pour
I'm
arriver
proud of
jusqu'ici.
that
Voilà,
and
je suis
of
très
how I
fier.
got
C'est
here.
vraiment
I can
la
see what
pleine
happened to
mesure
me
de
until
ce que j'ai
now,
aujourd'hui
and I hope to continue to
j'ai
progress
envie de
and show that
continuer
I can impose myself
progresser
at
et
the
à
top
montrer
level.
que je peux m'imposer
It's been
à ce
great,
niveau.
I want to live it to the
En tout cas,
full,
c'est que du bonheur
and
et
I know I will savour this
j'essaie de vivre
chance.
pleinement, je savoure pleinement cette chance.
Do you have a theory as to why you blossomed so late?
Tout simplement parce que dans mon club
Simply
formateur,
because
j'ai pas
at
eu
youth
la
level
chance
I didn't really get my
d'exploser,
chance.
d'avoir
I wasn't able to
chance.
explode.
Il y avait des
I didn't
attaquants
really
devant
get
moi,
my
donc il a
chance
fallu
then.
que j'aille chercher
There
les
were
temps de jeu ailleurs.
strikers who played instead of
C'est
me,
souvent ce qui se
so
passe quand
I
un
had to
joueur
go
a énormément de
elsewhere.
temps de jeu,
And that tends to
sous-traiter,
happen
donc, entre
when a
guillemets,
player doesn't get so much
c'est
playing
des
time.
marchandises.
I was
Et
loaned
donc,
out,
je me
so
suis
to
fait
speak,
prêter donc,
to a
à des
lower
joueurs
division
inférieurs, et
club,
après j'ai
and I
gagné mes
moved up
missions
season
comme
after
tous les autres,
season.
et
I
j'ai
proved I
prouvé
was
que
good
j'avais le
enough,
niveau,
and I scored goals,
chaque
and
saison,
I
j'ai
hope to be
marqué
scoring a
des
few
buts,
goals
donc,
next season in the
j'espère
Premier
bien
League as
faire
well.
trembler les filets de la première ligue cette année.
Does Laurent Koscielny's story inspire you? You have a similar career path.
Est-ce que son parcours t'inspire?
Oui, bien sûr, on a un peu des trajectoires similaires.
Of course, we have had a similar path in our careers. I'm happy that he's here now and that I can join him. And it's a nice story because we were together at Tours 4 years ago and we just missed out on getting promoted into Ligue 1. It was Montpellier instead who got promoted, and then I joined them a few years later. It was there that I exploded into Ligue 1, and then I got into the French squad. Had they told me 4 years ago that I'd be playing for Arsenal, I would have signed right there and right then.
You were with Laurent at the Euros. Did you talk to him about Arsenal?
Aux Euros vis-à-vis le club d'Arsenal?
À l'Euro, bien sûr, oui, on a beaucoup parlé, je lui ai beaucoup
Yes, we talked a lot.
demandé de conseils.
I asked him about life, the club, and the environment of the club. We talked about English football because, like I said, I've wanted to play here since I was a kid. It was my dream to play in the Premier League, so Arsenal was ideal for me. And Laurent told me it was a very good choice.
Who was your footballing hero?
In France, it was Zizou, Zinedine Zidane, of course, and Thierry Henry because he was a striker. There are other players I liked because they were complete strikers too, like Shevchenko and Van Basten.
How do you think you will adapt to the Premier League?
Bien connu pour la vitesse et le jeu très physique.
Oui, tout à fait. Je pense que
I think I have the weapons to do well here. I will need some time to adapt, of course, but I'm not worried about that. I think I will adapt well. I'm not concerned about integrating and settling down because there are a few French players here already.
At 1 metre 92 centimetres, you could be described as a traditional English forward.
Alors peut-être qu'on peut vous décrire comme un attaquant anglais traditionnel?
Possible, oui.
Maybe, yes. It's true that it might be a style of game that I'm good at, but I'm also a player who likes to play, who likes to participate in the game. That's why I think the way Arsenal play will suit me. I like scoring goals and Arsenal create a lot of chances. So if I do well, then we will do well.
How do you compare the English leagues to others around Europe?
Well, for me it's the best. It's the best league in the world among the 5 big countries. That's why I chose Arsenal. That's why I dreamt about playing here. And also because of the environment, the fans, the full stadiums, the different mentality here. So I'm happy to be able to discover this league.
Why is the Premier League such a magnet?
Était toujours un rêve pour toi. Et pourquoi la Premier League est un championnat si attirant?
Comme je vous ai dit, par rapport à
Like I
la
said,
ferveur qu'il peut y
it's
avoir
about the
autour
fervour
du foot,
around football here.
les gens vont en
The people
famille
come
au
as a
stade,
family and they're very
ils sont
passionate.
vraiment
It's in
passionnés,
their
c'est
blood.
vraiment dans leur sang,
They live football,
ils vivent
eat
football, ils
football
mangent
and
football,
sleep
ils dorment
football.
football, donc
It's different to France.
c'est différent de la France.
There is a nice sporting challenge
Donc,
as well
il y a
at Arsenal.
un challenge sportif vraiment très
And I will
intéressant
play
ici, en plus, à
to
Arsenal.
create history
Et,
and to
et
enjoy
moi, je joue
myself
vraiment
and to
pour,
give pleasure to the fans as
pour,
well.
disons, pour marquer l'histoire et pour
I think
prendre un
that
maximum de
the
plaisir,
Premier League
moi, et puis
football
en donner
will correspond well with
aux
me.
fans, aux spectateurs. Donc je pense que la Première Ligue me correspond tout à fait.
Il y en a beaucoup d'attaquants à Arsenal.
Will it be tough to break into a team that already has so many strikers?
Est-ce que ça sera difficile de trouver première équipe, une première 11?
Forcément, oui, il y a des
Of
grands
course, there are
attaquants
big
dans
strikers here.
dans un
It
grand
is a
club,
big
donc,
club and there
on a
will
forcément
be
de la
a lot
concurrence,
of
mais,
competition for
après, ce
places,
sera à moi
but it's
de-
up to me to
de
win my
faire ma place.
place.
Est-ce que vous
Can you
pouvez
describe
décrire un
what it
peu
was like for you at the Euros?
l'expérience à l'Euro?
Ah, c'est un peu délicat, c'était
It
particulier
was
pour moi
a
parce que
little
je l'ai vécu,
delicate and I
avec un
was
peu
a
de
little
frustration,
frustrated.
parce que quand t'es sur le banc,
When you're on the bench,
t'as envie
you want to
d'apporter,
give something and
beaucoup
give
de
all
choses,
your energy when the
d'apporter ton
team
énergie
isn't
quand
doing
l'équipe,
so well.
est un peu moins bien,
You
bah,
talk to the
tu es là
guys,
pour,
you encourage them.
bah, pour parler au
But
mec,
it's true that I wasn't
encourager,
used to being on the
les
bench.
positiver, mais c'est vrai que je connaissais
In
pas
terms of
trop
spirit, I was there and I was ready
statut,
when
là,
called
de
upon.
remplaçant et, de
But
toute façon,
I didn't
j'ai
get
pas de
that
soucis,
much
dans l'état
playing
d'esprit,
time,
j'y suis et,
and that was
j'essaie
frustrating.
d'apporter ce que je peux quand on fait appel à moi, mais c'est vrai que j'ai pas eu
But
beaucoup de temps de jeu,
I
donc
was proud to be a
c'était
part
quand même,
of the France squad
un peu
at the
frustrant.
Euros.
J'étais
And I'm
déjà
proud
très,
that I
très fier
played
d'être,
a
de
few
participer à
times.
cet Euro et,
I'm not impatient,
donc,
and by working
je suis
hard
impatient
and
et,
with
je sais
perseverance,
qu'à force de
I will
travail et de
mature
persévérance,
and
je
increase my
gagnerai
game time as
en
well.
maturité et puis en temps de jeu forcément.
Tu as déjà dit qu'Arsenal a terminé troisième.
Arsenal were third last season. Can they win something this
Est-ce que le
season?
club trouvera du succès cette saison, tu crois?
Oui, ben il y a une
Yes, there is a good generation of players here, a good team.
Ils ont pas été
They
forcément,
weren't helped by
comment
injuries
dire,
last season,
épargnés par les blessures,
and
beaucoup
there
de
were a few changes,
changements, donc,
and for the stability of the group that makes a difference.
particulier, mais en tout cas,
But I think there is a good spirit here, and that's another reason why I chose the club. I'm confident in the potential of this group, and I'm convinced that in the future, hopefully next season, we can win something. It's difficult in England because there are so many big teams, but that's what gives it its charm. That's what makes it beautiful. It is the hardest league, and it won't be easy to impose myself, but I'm confident I can do that.
J'ai confiance.
Finally, do you have a message for the Arsenal fans?
Oui, bien sûr, je suis.
I'm proud, like I said, I'm proud to wear this red shirt.